All right, so you know how sometimes just like one single headline can make you feel like, whoa, there's got to be more to this.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Well, that's what we're doing today, going deep on this short but like really loaded statement about a judge and deportations.
Okay, let's hear it.
It says, judge vows to get to the bottom of whether Trump administration violated deportation flight order.
Hmm.
So for anyone out there trying to keep up with everything going on, I mean, this one little sentence brings up some really interesting and potentially big legal questions.
For sure. I mean, right away, you see how strong the language is.
Yeah.
It's not every day a judge straight up vows to do something, right?
Right. It feels serious.
It is serious. It means
Yeah.
they're really concerned and are going to dig deep into what happened with this deportation flight order.
Yeah, that vows part. It's not just like, oh, we'll look into it.
Mhm.
It's like a promise to really figure out the truth.
Exactly. And even though we don't have all the specifics about the order itself, we know it deals with how people were removed from the country.
Right. So the big question becomes, did everything happen the way it was supposed to?
Hmm.
Legally?
And also think about the timing here, the Trump administration.
Oh, yeah.
That brings in a whole different context with all the immigration policies and how things were enforced back then.
Like that period's still being talked about a lot. And this just adds another layer to it.
Absolutely.
You know what's kind of weird to me, though? We don't even know the judge's name.
Yeah, you're right.
Or like any details about what the order actually said or what exactly they think the Trump administration did wrong.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a very direct statement, but without the usual info you'd expect.
You know what I think? I think that's a clue in itself.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it could be like an early announcement, like just saying, hey, I'm going to look into this before they get into the nitty-gritty.
Ah, I see.
But what's really cool is it shows how much we rely on judges to be independent and check up on stuff, even when we don't know all the facts right away.
So for our listeners out there, what's the big takeaway so far?
Well, it all comes back to that basic idea of the rule of law.
Right.
Nobody's above it, not even a past president.
Yeah. And there are ways to make sure people are held accountable.
Precisely. And if you zoom out to the bigger picture of how our government works, this is all about that separation of powers thing.
Checks and balances.
Exactly. We've got the judicial branch potentially stepping in to see if the executive branch messed up, even though it's a different president now.
Wow.
It makes you wonder, right? How far does that oversight go? Can we always look back and question things even years later?
Huge questions.
Definitely.
And this isn't just some abstract legal debate either.
Oh, no, not at all.
Deportation flights involve real people.
Right? They affect people's lives.
And the fact that a judge feels like they have to investigate means those procedures, those rules, they matter.
Absolutely. It emphasizes that even when it comes to national security immigration stuff, there's a legal system in place that everyone has to follow.
And this judge is saying, nope, we're going to make sure those rules were followed. So let's recap for everyone. A judge is basically saying, I'm going to investigate if the Trump administration broke the law when it comes to this deportation flight order.
Yep, and we don't have all the details yet.
But it's a big deal because it could mean looking back at a lot of decisions made by the president and his people and whether those decisions were actually legal.
And that brings up a huge question for everyone to think about.
Yeah.
What happens if they find something wrong? What if the investigation shows they did break the law? What does that mean for how future presidents act? Will they be more careful? Will it change how they approach these kinds of operations? And does this whole thing show us that we always need to keep an eye on those in power, no matter who they are or when they were in office?
Definitely things to consider as this story develops.
For sure.
And that's our deep dive for today. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, everyone.